Audio testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Checking the sound of the audio testing. Yeah, it seemed like the sound was good. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to say Yahweh.
Hello, Moto.
I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to say Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Adash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last Holy Tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles of Aki and Akwa, and I say Shalom. And this is a prophecy updates outside lesson as of August 7, 2026, on this Friday morning. And Wadi Habash Mashai, as always, for giving us an opportunity chance to do these outside lessons and do sit down lessons as well too, and do ministries and Yahweh Shai, Wadi Habash Mashai for that. So I'm bringing out a couple of news articles, and you had some adjustment took place over there in Thailand. You had some Moabite, because you got a mixture of Japheth and Moabites over there in Thailand. You had some type of bugged out 14-year-old student over there in the land of Thailand, in the land of Moab / Japheth. I think he had unalived his 2 parents, and then he had unalived 5 other students. And I think he took out his own son as well too. So that shows you that there's going to be a lot of space created for vintage these days, And it's that Genesis 6 verse 5, evil was only continuing the hearts of men, and that's what we see in these times. Since I mentioned that, bring out that Genesis chapter 6. So this is not only happening here in America, we see this in different parts around the world. The love of many are waxing cold, and evilness and violence is going to ramp up in our world, and that's what we see. This is Genesis chapter 6 verse 5. It says, and Yahweh saw that wickedness of man was going on the earth, that every imagination about his heart is on evil things, while every imagination about his heart is on evil things, and that's what we see in our world. So I'm going to bring out that Matthew 24 chapter. And this is the signs that Yahweh Shai spoke about to you, as Yahweh Shai spoke to the disciples of the Amount of Olives about these signs, these times going to occur, and we're definitely in those times, So now that we're in the signs of the times. I woke up, I heard that story. I'm like, yeah, we definitely live in the signs of times. That's kind of rare. That's kind of rare happening in the land of Moab and Edom. I mean, that's kind of rare to happen in the land of Japheth and Moab. Because normally you see Esau do some type like that. Hey, they fall in the ways of Esau, Edom, the Western mindset. Now that these the nations, they still under that vibration of Babylon the Great. This is Matthew's because the version of Babylon, which is ruled by Esau, Edom in the modern day times. Because it's rare to see a Moabite unalive his parents and shoot up in school. It's kind of rare to see that. It's like that Edomite over there in Ukraine a couple of years ago did that as well too, in different parts over there. And you had another individual, I think over there in Turkey, I think like last year, he did a similar situation like that. And so that these other nations, they still following the customs of that Western Edomite mindset still to this day. But that's another topic at hand. But we start to see evil was only continuing the hearts of man. That's what we see in our world. So like it says in Genesis 6 verse 5. And this is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. Because that's Matthew 25th chapter. I'm trying to get the Matthew 24 chapter. You guys look at Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. It says, because iniquity should abound. Right, so because iniquity should abound, the love of shall wax cold. So lawlessness, iniquity is going to abound. And that's what we see in our world. So that's what our Savior spoke about. He spoke to the Mount of Olives with the disciples. Discuss about these very important signs I was about to enter into. So they spoke about this 2,000 years ago. Now it's been shown both of these times. So we're going to be seeing lawlessness and 11 million of ice cold throughout here in America and different parts around the world. So like I mentioned again, it's not just only here in America, we're seeing that in different parts around the world. So that the 11 million is going to be waxing cold more. And you still got people over there. You still got the Israelis bombing innocent men, women, and children over there in the Gaza Strip. And that's what you call lawlessness. Isaiah 10 verse 1, unrighteous creeds. So these war, evil, and pestilence that we see in our world is only going to continue to increase. And we're going to be seeing more and more spirits created for vengeance. And we're going to be seeing more and more evil is only continuing the hearts of man. That's what we see in our world today. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. Matthew 24 verse 12, because iniquity should abound, love makes you wax cold. Right, so because iniquity should abound, love makes you wax cold. We seeing signs of that. So I'm gonna bring out that 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Yeah, I'll be Apostle John speaking, and then I'm gonna get to the news articles. I don't know exactly how it works. Yeah, let's look at 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Yeah, 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. The Apostle John speaking. It says, "Whosoever committed sin also transgress the law, for sin is transgression law." So that lets you know the law, statutes, commandments is still in full effect to this that day, because the Heavenly Father, because Yahweh Shai says he's not gonna he fulfilled the law. It's not gonna be done away with. So that lets you know that it's still in full effect, still to this day. So we understand more lawlessness and more iniquity is going to abound. That's why the Apostle John says, "Whosoever committed sin also transgress the law, for sin is transgression law." So you commit a sin, you transgress the law, and the law statutes commandments of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Son of the God, Son of Mashiach, Abshai. So this is the book of 2 Timothy. Yeah, it's the book of it says second epistle of also. Yeah, it says second epistle of apostle. It says second epistle of Paul the apostle to Timothy. So this is the apostle Paul speaking to Timothy. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. It says this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Right, so also in the last days perilous times shall come. We see the signs of it. So we see the loving many of lights of cold. We see lawlessness, iniquities, heavy judgments are taking place as we see in our world today. So I'm gonna check out some news articles. Slovakia. Yeah, we bring out that news article that happened over in Thailand. This dude had unalived his parents. This dude had unalived his school student, because he was a student at a high school over there in Thailand. And so these are the judgments for the Yahweh Shai, like it says in the book of Isaiah 45 verse 7. I form the light, I create darkness, I create peace, I Yahweh does understands. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 14. Heavenly Father, he's our righteous, just power. All right, Thailand scripture. That's locked for a second. Yeah, it says a Thailand teen unalived 7 people in a rampage at home and at a school before unaliving himself. Right, so this dude unalived his grandparents. He unalived his students, his classmates at a high school over there in Thailand. So this is what you call a lot of spiritual creative vengeance in these times, and love many of West Coast. So as I bring that out. All right, check out some more news articles. It says a MAC defense. It says a MAC the Joint Defense Pact signed as a Hormuz deal nears. And then what was kind of tripped out was you had I think it was Pakistan, Turkey. Yeah, I think it was Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey. They signed this Mecca Defense Pact deal. And then you had the Prime Minister. He said that's not going to stop from us building up our defense capability. Because after Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and Turkey, they signed that defense pact deal. And then, I think that's a deal that's not going to stop the deterrence of nuclear capability from Iran. And then you had a couple of hours later, I think like a day later, you had the Prime Minister of Iran saying that he said that deal is not going to stop deterring our nuclear capability. So that's an indicator that might be a sign where that, despite the fact that talks between the United States and Iran been progressing, they getting close to a deal, probably potentially ending the war, and probably potentially in the Strait of Hormuz deal as well too. But that's still not going to stop Iran having the right to have more nuclear capability. But this is what this current administration there main objective was, to make sure Iran not have a nuclear capability. But Iran said we still going to have a right to defend ourselves. We still have a right to control parts of the Strait of Hormuz. We still have control and rights to have a nuclear capability in our country, and that's not going to stop us from pushing forth towards that objective, Because Trump has kept on saying it. We're going to make sure they're not going to have a nuclear capability. He said the deal. He said the war between them and Iran is getting close to an end. Sometimes Trump he might kind of be double-minded, like it says in the book of James 1 verse 8. Double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So I just want to add a side note to that. So it was a deal between Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan, a defense pact that's might stop the deterrence of Iran. Iran was saying that's not going to stop our deterrence. We're still going to create a nuclear capability. It says 6 minutes ago. It says Israeli military fire upon water utility workers in Lebanon. Says state media reports. Hey, let us know those Israelis. Hey, Shalom, Aqua sister. Hey, peace and blessing you, your household, to you, and your household. As always, I say Shalom to Aqua sister. Hey, let us know those Israelis. They big bullies. They'll bully anybody, but they'll put the blame on everybody else except themselves. Just like they bombing those citizens over there in the Gaza Strip in the West Bank, Palestinian territory, trying to fully occupy those areas over there. But they put the blame on everybody. They play like they the victim. It's kind of crazy. But it says the Houthi rebels. It says the Houthis attack on government forces hint that a major battle in Yemen is brewing. Right. So a major battle in Yemen is brewing, especially between the Saudi Arabia armies and the Yemenese armies governors, that they've been clashing against the Houthi rebels back in 2015 and all the way into 2022, because they signed a deal in 2022 to have that trust agreement. Now it seems like that trust agreement is out the window. Now these tensions might heat back up between the Saudi Arabia armies and the Houthi rebels, which they are in northern Yemen and southern Yemen. It says that the Houthis' expansion of a cross-border attacks on government forces means they have the threat of the all-out war between the two sides is no longer far-fetched. Right, so it's no longer far-fetched. So I'm going to bring out that Luke 21 verse 25. It's the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. It reads, it says, there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. What perplex see those growing. So we see the signs, the sun, and moon and stars, and then we see the distress of nations. What perplex see those growing. We see these seditions, uprisings, upwards before. So that's how the book continue to increase. So Matthew 24 verse 7 once again, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right, that's what we see in Russia versus Ukraine, the Houthi rebels versus the Saudi Arabia, and we see in the European Union and NATO versus Belarus and Russia. Tensions heating up between these armies of nations, Pakistan versus Afghanistan. Tensions might heat back up between Thailand and Cambodia. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28. Yes, book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have before thee and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. So we come out here to prophesy against our great countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. And that's in our words here. This is Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 9. It says, the prophets of war prophesied in peace, but the word of the prophet shall come to pass. Then shall the prophet done that Yahweh has said. Right, because these prophecies, they're going to come to pass and be fulfilled. And shalom to you once again, Aqua sister. A peace and blessing your household. And as always, I say shalom, Aqua sister. And water for that Aqua sister. It says Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 46. It says, "Be your heart fake and fit for woman shall hurt the land, and a woman shall come forth 1 year after that, another year shall a woman God's land rule against ruler." Right, so 1 year after another year with a woman, God's land rule against ruler. That's what we're seeing. So I'm gonna bring out some more news articles while prophecies are taking place in our world today. Yeah, so as it says again, it says the Houthis attack on the government forces. Right, because the elder over there in Reno, Nevada, he spoke about this earlier yesterday. It says the Houthis attack on government forces hint that a major battle in Yemen is brewing. Right, so a major battle in Yemen is brewing. So it doesn't matter if Iran, United States, they might come with a deal or progress. It doesn't matter if they try to de-escalate tensions, but the tensions are still going to be there between these armies of nations. That's why we still going to see the nations are still in perplexity. That's still going to take place. And these war, evil, and the pestilence that we see in our world today is going to continue to increase. So I'm going to go back to some more news articles. I'm going to check out the time of Israel, as always, the body of Bashar Mashah. And this is Slovakia. Yeah, get to the time of Israel. Yeah, it says Houthis unalive 58 troops in Yemen and 11 civilians attack in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, wars and rumors of wars. And then you got Benjamin Netanyahu. He refused to release his troops to withdraw from over there in those security zone areas over there in Lebanon and Israel, and Golan Heights. So that lets you know they still gonna be teams doing bombings over there in that area. So these are signs of the nations are in perplexity. They're still gonna continue to show forth. So check out the. So I'm check out Arabia news. It says as of August the 7th, it said 300 children unalive in Gaza in 300 days. The UNCF says that the West Bank settlers attacks continues. Why? Because they said because you got those alt-right Edomites of the IDF. Teams are burning villages and houses over there with people that's like innocent civilians over there, attacking them, doing heavy raids, over there in the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, Palestinian territory, despite the fact they put forth this peace plan deal. So that lets you know these IDF Edomites, they do a lot of unrighteous decrees, like it says in Isaiah 10 verse 1. So that's an indicator that Luke 21 verse 25 is definitely in full effect, despite the fact they might push forth these peace deals and ceasefire agreements, because the Apostle Paul says, when they shall say peace and safe, sudden destruction come upon them, as the children of a child shall not escape. Slovakia. All right, in the meantime, just bring out some more scriptures. Yeah, it's the book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 3. Yeah, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, blessed he that readeth and hidden voices of prophecies, and keep those things are written therein from time to end. Right, so we're going to continue to take heed of those prophecies and keep those things are written therein from time to end. So these war, evil, and pestilence, and all these biblical signs and prophecies that we see in our world says only will continue to increase. So this was just a quick sit-down lesson. Outside lesson I want to bring out as of August the 7th, 2026, on this Friday morning. This was just a quick prophecy news updates on this Friday morning. And with that, this was edifying. Once again, shout out to the Aqua system. Peace, bless you, and your household as always. So with that, I would like to give all the praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, and the Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushua. Those are the true names in the ancient covenant of Hebrew, Malashbas to the tongue. That's it, Barakabam to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. So next time, I would say, Korma Shalom, and the ball, Shalom.